Hello, hello, and welcome. I am bringing to you today the importance of planning and outlining if you are writing. This is for someone who maybe you've written things before, but this is mainly for the new writer who hasn't written a book. And it's important to plan and outline your book before you begin to write. Planning is important because it's the foundation for the success of your book. As you plan, you can lay the foundation of how you want your book organized. And it helps the writing become smooth and organized and manageable. Creating an outline, I'm not sure, well, most people know this. It serves as a roadmap, point A to point B to point C. It guides you through the writing process and helps you organize your thoughts. If you're breaking this down, it should be in parts when you're doing your outline. And that would mean by either section or chapter. So if you have a chapter where you're discussing something important, you want to break it down into bite-sized pieces. Again, it makes the writing manageable and it can also help make it less intimidating because when you only have to write about a certain part in that chapter, there's no pressure about mentioning everything else. That would be part A. And then if you have one, two, and three, you can add that under A. And then you go on to B. Say, however your chapter is set up. Make it flow. So if you're doing A, an example would be first day of school, okay? For the kindergartner, the first day of school would be find your classroom. Of course, the parent or the teacher will take them to the classroom, meet your teacher, and you'll introduce yourself. B would be you'll meet your friends, your new friends in class. And then if you remember the names, you say, I met Sally and I met Robert and I met Jacob, whatever. And then three would be learning to do the assignment or working in a group. So it's how you want to break down. I'm making it really basic, but it's how you want to break down your chapter of your book so that it's not intimidating for you as you write it. If you focus on the first part of the writing, and then you can focus on the second. And the thing is, when you're doing this, it helps you not feel so, I don't want to say freaked out, but it helps you not get discouraged if it's small bites opposed to trying to eat the whole book in one time. So if you just focus on setting up the outline and writing down little points that you're going to cover in chapter one, and then how you're going to cover those points, you break it down some more. That helps you when you sit down to actually start writing because the ideas are already right there on the screen or on paper. And once you start doing this, the next thing you can do is celebrate the achievement. If you finished just point A of the book of chapter one, that's a reason to celebrate because you planned it and now you can celebrate it. It could be, okay, I'm taking 30 minutes to watch a favorite episode of something, and then I'm going to come back. Or you could say 30 minutes to just sit outside, whatever your celebration to your achievement will be, you plan that. But it could be after you finish the outline and you've added your notes in between the chapters. Okay, I'm going to start this day. And then that's a reason to celebrate. When you're planning on your book or for your book, make sure you do the research for the different parts of your book. If you need to look more into a certain topic, that you're not 100% about or not fully, I'm not convinced I know this the way I should, research. Get the research information, cite the information where it's coming from, and get that written down, get it planned, set it in a document somewhere so you can find it. You can use different things like Evernote to place notes and information for your book. Okay, now, once you've done this part, of course, you should have a writing schedule. That goes without saying. You should plan when you want to write. That was a part of planning and organizing. Now, again, there's writing tools. I'm not sure if you've heard of Scrivener. Scrivener is great if you have a book that's laid out, say a fiction book, and it's laid out in different scenes. Like in this scene, is when this person meets that person. In another scene, they're on a trip somewhere. In another scene, they're driving. In this scene, they're at home. So Scrivener, you can write down the different scenes that you have planned for your book, and you can put the scenes together later. It's more like if you're writing a play or a drama, something like that, but it works because you have all the ideas out and they're on a screen and they're in different pockets. So this could help the person that has a lot of ideas and you want to get them out so you don't forget. And when you do your outline, you can plan on where to place those ideas or scenes. So Scrivener, look up Scrivener. They have it for Apple and they also have it for Windows. So it's you pay one time, but you have it on your computer and it's great to have. Again, you could use Google Docs if you have ideas that you've thought about where you want to put things. Google Docs is great. Microsoft Word. And again, Evernote. Evernote is always good to have. Planning, also work in flexibility when you plan because things come up. As you're writing, interruptions happen, phone calls, someone stops by. Be flexible and just put it on hold, but make sure you get back to it and make up the time that you weren't able to finish the project or writing that you planned on, because having the flexibility will give you an opportunity to get away from it mentally and then come back to it. So that's important to do. Um, when I'm writing, I normally will reschedule the time later. If I was writing and an interruption happened, say a phone call, or I had to get back with someone on an appointment, I will make up the time, if not that day, early the next morning, finish what I worked on so that I'm mentally satisfied that I got it done. And it teaches me that no matter what comes up, I can finish what I plan. I can still get to it. Um, Outlining your book is so important. If you have it outlined, that's half the battle because you know exactly or what you want to write about. Again, with the flexibility while you're doing the outline, and if you started writing, if something else comes up that's an even better idea, you can work it into the outline. If you have to go back and insert it between chapters 3 and 4 and make it point B instead of point A, that's flexibility as well. You can still redo things when you're doing the outline because if it flows better, if it makes more sense, if it'll help the reader enjoy it, that's the point of the outline. And also, if you have any writing and you see these points are helping, leave it in the comments. I would love to see how this is helping in your writing journey, in the process of organizing and planning for your books. And subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate to subscribe and follow. And again, please leave comments. The comments will help me get more information to you that's needed if you have questions. Okay, this is Joyce. It's been a pleasure leaving information, and I will see you guys at the next video. Okay, goodbye.